The opposite of sportsmanship as a brawl breaks out over the weekend between two high school football teams. Now the question remains if charges will be filed over the fight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Lydia Kulbida.
And I'm John Gray. Welcome. Dust-ups during a high school football game, not that unusual. However, after a game in Whitehall had to be called off due to fighting, the opposing team is now making accusations of racial slurs, physical assaults on the part of fans, players, even coaches.
News 10 ABC's Anya Tucker has the story from Whitehall.
It all happened during last Saturday's home game here in Whitehall, the Railroaders versus the Rensselaer Rams. It was to be a very important game, one that would decide each team standing in the bracket for the upcoming playoffs. But it was a game that would end abruptly in the third quarter. This was the kind of conduct that had the yellow flags flying Saturday afternoon in Whitehall. Home team players and coaches tangled up in a pile with the opposing team and their coaches. Rensselaer Rams coach Joel Preston claims the unsportsmanlike behavior was initially a reaction to what he claims were bad calls on the part of the officials.
The officials let it get out of control. They did a horrible job.
But he says things really got ugly when fans and Whitehall players, he claims, began to yell out racial slurs against one of his players.
And he's called on the sideline. He said, don't call me that.
Preston claims one of Whitehall's assistant coaches then took it even further during this fight that News 10 ABC captured while covering the game.
Then a pushing and shoving started on the sideline, and that's when my player was knocked to the ground and choked and punched by their coach.
The official gave his warning.
It's going to be a football game from here on in. Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
If this happens again, this game will be done.
But minutes after returning to play, another dust-up. This time officials had had enough.
Everybody off, everybody off, everybody off. This is our senior year. We want to play.
Game's over.
The official call, Whitehall winning it 28-6. Hey, Coach Culligan. We called Whitehall's head coach, Justin Culligan. He called back saying he was not allowed to speak to the media. However, he did speak to News 10 ABC after Saturday's game.
I'm not going to blame the officials or Rensselaer. We got to look at ourselves.
News 10 has also now learned that officials with Section 2 are investigating the apparent behavior of the players and coaches, and also who may or may not be mostly to blame. At this point, it's unclear if any criminal case will result out of what happened here last Saturday. But I am told that some of the Rensselaer parents are very upset and they may be pursuing charges. In Whitehall, Anya Tucker, News 10, ABC.